Can you imagine standing behind the counter in a small-town diner just doing your job, when suddenly the fate of hundreds of people hangs on your next move? That's exactly what happened to Lisa, a waitress at Miller's Cafe, on a chilly, autumn morning no one would forget. Lisa wiped her hands on her apron, glancing out the window at the endless highway stretching past the diner. It was the kind of place where truckers stopped for a quick bite, a cup of strong coffee, and a brief escape from the road. Lisa had worked there for 5 years. She knew most of the regulars by name, and each had their own story etched in the lines of their weathered faces. But today, something different was about to unfold. The bell above the door jingled, and in walked Carl, an elderly truck driver, his worn cap pulled low, hands trembling slightly as he eased into a booth by the window. His rig was parked just outside, its engine idling softly. Lisa watched as he struggled to manage his coffee cup, his eyes betraying a deep exhaustion. There was more to this man than met the eye, something fragile beneath the tough exterior. "Morning, Carl," Lisa said gently, pouring fresh coffee into a chipped mug. "You look like you could use a good meal." He gave a tired smile. "Thanks, Lisa. Been a rough night out on the road." As she set down a hearty breakfast plate, Lisa noticed the subtle tremor in his hands and the slight hitch in his breathing. Something wasn't right. "You okay? Need me to call someone?" she asked, concern threading her voice. Carl shook his head. "Nah, just old age catching up." But just then, his hand slipped and the coffee spilled, steaming and hot. Before Lisa could react, Carl's face went pale, and he slumped forward, unconscious. The diner fell silent. Time seemed to freeze as Lisa rushed over, checking his pulse. It was weak, but there. She called 911, her voice steady but urgent, and cradled Carl's head as the other customers watched with bated breath. Minutes later, the paramedics arrived and whisked Carl away. Lisa stood by the window, the smell of coffee and bacon mingling with the sharp scent of fear and hope. She felt an ache deep in her chest. This man, a stranger in some ways, had suddenly become the heart of her day. What happened next was something no one saw coming. Outside, word of Carl's collapse spread quickly. Among the truckers parked along the highway, news traveled fast. One of their own was in trouble. Then, like ripples across water, it grew into something powerful. Within the hour, over 500 trucks lined up along the highway near Miller's Cafe, their engines off, brake lights glowing red in the crisp air. The drivers had come together, not for business, but to honor Carl's life and the kindness that saved him. They blocked the road in a silent tribute, creating a human shield of solidarity and hope. Back inside the diner, Lisa watched through the window, tears prickling her eyes. She had saved one life with her quick thinking and kindness, but this spontaneous act from strangers showed her how kindness could multiply, how one small gesture could ignite a fire of compassion that spreads far beyond. One of the truckers, a burly man named Mike, came inside and placed a simple handwritten note on the counter. "Thank you, Lisa. Because you cared, we stand together." Lisa looked around at the faces of the diners and drivers, all united by a single thread: human kindness. She realized then that no matter how small a person's act may seem, it holds the power to change lives and inspire communities. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the quiet highway filled with trucks, Lisa felt a warmth deeper than any cup of coffee. Hope was alive here, in this small town and in the hearts of strangers brought together by a moment of compassion. If you've ever wondered how one act of kindness could ripple into something greater, now you know. And it's waiting for you to be the spark. So next time you see someone struggling, whether it's a weary trucker, a stranger in a cafe, or a friend in need, remember Lisa's story. Because kindness doesn't just change one life. It has the power to change the world. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, comment below with your own kindness stories, and subscribe for more inspiring tales that remind us what it truly means to care. And stay tuned. Our next story will take you on a journey you won't want to miss, because kindness, after all, never runs out. Would you like me to craft a full expanded script version, or perhaps a version with detailed dialogue and sensory descriptions for your video?